brand new episode of Art NuVogue with your host, LeilaniJoy, aka Katie the Kitty Witch. Now, if you were not born in the late 70s or early 80s, you may have no idea what anime character I'm dressed as today, but you are going to find out. Although some of you probably do know, since you may have found this video through searching keywords like Unico, Katie the Kitty Witch, Fantastic Adventures of Unico. Anyway, so maybe you do know what I'm dressed as. So if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm going to be doing a tribute piece to my all-time favorite anime, which is the Fantastic Adventures of Unico. And this movie had obviously an impact on me. It's still having an impact on me. I actually have never dressed up as this character before, and this was like a, I don't know, $50 cosplay. I did make a custom, my full look does not fit in the camera, but you can see I do have the full upside down hair bow. I did not forget that detail. Since we're stuck in quarantine, I'm gonna add a little cosplay to my episodes if I possibly can, and plus I love to do mini cosplay anyways. But I digress. The piece that I'm doing today was originally supposed to be for the Unicorn Art Show in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And sadly, because of COVID, we had to cancel the live show. But I decided to do the piece anyway because they were going to host a great little virtual event for us. And I had started this piece, I think last year even, and I had to put it on the back burner for other projects. And I loved the concept, and I was like, I really still want to paint that piece. So I'm going to do it today. So as I get started here, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Fantastic Adventures of Unico, why I love it so much, and kind of a special meaning that this piece kind of took on as I was creating it. So if you have not seen this anime yet, it might be helpful to watch it. I have heard from little birdies that you can watch it on Amazon Prime streaming right now and on Crunchyroll. And I think they have the sequel as well that you might enjoy checking out, which is Unico and the Island of Magic. I prefer the original. The second one's still pretty good though. Both of them are creepy and have a lot of weird adult stuff that you're as an adult watching it, you're like, wow, this probably would terrify children nowadays. But I liked that sort of thing back then. So anyway, let's take a look at this process and I'll tell you about my beloved Unico. The character of Unico was created by legendary Japanese manga artist, cartoonist, and animator Osamu Tezuka, and many people know him as the father of manga, and you may be familiar with some of his other most notable characters such as Astro Boy and Kimba the White Lion. Now, if you want to do a little deep dive into some conspiracy theory, there are some that say that Disney's The Lion King actually ripped off Kimba the White Lion. And I think there is some definite evidence to support that, but I'm not going to go into that, especially because I work for Disney. I don't know. But if you want to look up some theories on this on YouTube, it's actually pretty interesting. And watch Kimba the White Lion, which is another lovely anime. So Unico himself, though, first originated in the Sanrio Lyrica magazine and later became a short film or a little short animation called Unico, Black Cloud, and White Feather. And I was able to find this on YouTube actually somewhat recently, but I can't find an English subtitle or an English dub, so I have to just kind of guess at what's going on. But the film that I encountered as a child is The Fantastic Adventures of Unico, that was directed by Tezuka and produced by Sanrio. It was released in 1981 in Japan, and then later was dubbed for the US in 1983. And I think I saw it at about 4 or 5. So this was around a little while before I saw it. And it was actually something my mom had taped on VHS off TV. She's like, oh, this looks like something Leilani would like, and just started taping it. And so that was my only copy of it for about, oh God, I don't know, years, 10 or 15 years. And then it met a sad death when my dad taped the Olympics over it, and I was absolutely devastated. But that's another story. By the way, he felt so bad that for 20 years he was looking for a VHS tape or DVD for me, which he finally found on eBay. Anyways, this little film is basically about this character of Unico, and there's these god characters that believe that they should be the only ones to have the ability to control others and their emotions, and so they decide that Unico must die, which is pretty dramatic. Some of the gods feel that that punishment might be too harsh, though, so they instead decide to send this beautiful wind goddess, the West Wind, to capture Unico and take him to the Hill of Oblivion, which is basically to desert him and leave him alone forever, in solitude. So the West Wind takes pity on Unico, and she defies the gods' commands, and they are furious with her, and they're trying to find her. And West Wind decides to basically hide Unico and try to protect him from the gods' wrath and keep him safe. And that's sort of when all those adventures begin. So for this piece, though, I really wanted to incorporate this character of West Wind because I love the design of her. And there's also her evil counterpart, the Night Wind, which is the one that's going to help the gods actually capture West Wind and Unico. And she is also this beautiful, cool character, and I think I want to do a painting of her eventually too. And I also wanted to give a shout out to this awesome pin. There's some other Unico fans out there that are making fan art of Nightwind, but for my piece I want to capture a little bit of this one opening scene of the film where Unico is still kind of with his mother and his little brothers and sisters, and there's this beautifully painted shot of Unico on a little wooden swing. And I love that shot, and it's kind of ironic actually because I was going to have a piece in a show at Gristle Gallery in New York, and so I was looking at their website and kind of like seeing how they set up their shows, and they had a unicorn show there, and I was just scrolling through it, kind of just looking at the pieces, and I came across this incredible depiction of Unico on that swing by Mary Angela Tan, who goes by Plush Play. And I was like, oh my god, I know that show was like a couple months ago. I have no idea if she sold this piece, but I was just absolutely in love because it captured that same moment that I was so obsessed with. So I contacted the gallery and they said, yeah, just, I think she still has it. And they gave me Mary Angela's contact information. And I contacted her and she said, yeah, I still have Unico, he's still for sale. So now he is mine and I own this piece and it hangs right behind me at my workstation. So this is also kind of inspiring my painting as well. So I want to kind of give her a shout out. You can find her here on Instagram. She's an incredible soft sculpture, and she does hard sculpture too, but she does really incredible work. So check her out. So when I started thinking about my interpretation of this piece, it kind of got me thinking about like sort of a deeper meaning to this story. And you have this beautiful guardian goddess, this maternal figure that wants to sort of shelter and protect Unico. But Unico is brave and he's willing to actually put his own life at risk to protect those that he loves and cares about. And he's not afraid to face fear, danger, and challenges because everything worth having is worth working for, and sometimes putting others ahead of yourself. And obviously there's a lot to process with that, especially nowadays with this pandemic and stuff, and protecting others before yourself, and not hiding your head in the sand and just running away from your problems. I think this also took on another metaphor for me, especially as a young adult, and that kind of parental relationship we have with our parents as children, and becoming adults and becoming independent and able to make our own choices about how we want to live our lives, and we can't always be sheltered and protected by our parent. And in my sketch here, I really think that the West Wind started to take on this very almost Virgin Mary kind of maternal goddess ghost, and I really felt like Unico in my piece represents this sort of innocent hope of wanting better and being optimistic and not being jaded by the world, and how we want to protect that, but also be fearless and be able to go out there and face these challenges. So that's kind of what this piece became, a lot more than just a childhood anime tribute. And I hope you guys enjoy the process of this painting, and I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you now. get clean silhouettes on some of my forms, I like to design out the shapes and sometimes make a frisket mask, which is a clean film that I can put over the area and then paint directly on top of that and peel it off. Plus, it's just this really satisfying thing that I enjoy doing in my art making, so I'm going to do that in a couple areas on this piece too. So if you have a good eye, you may have noticed in the upper corner of this piece there is a flying unicorn Pegasus. Now, this is kind of an Easter egg from the movie, so I'm not going to spoil it, but it is a nice little storytelling element that if you're a fan of Unico, that I think you'll enjoy. Also, I'd love to add that from the ages of 5 to maybe 7, I used to wish every single day that I had a unicorn Pegasus. So, you know, I'll make my own. Okay, you guys, well, my tribute to Unico and Westwind is almost finished now. And before I show you how she turned out, I just want to thank you so much for supporting me through all these strange times. Thank you for supporting my small business. Every purchase from my Etsy store means so much to me. I'm trying to put some little extra goodies in there just to brighten your day, because just seeing you guys continue to support me, even though we're all kind of struggling right now, is just the biggest compliment. Or if you join my Patreon or any of that good stuff, it just warms my heart. So thank you so much. You are all appreciated. And also, if you've joined my class, I love seeing new faces. I have a special $20 version of my class right now, which is the crash course version. You can find it at artnouvogueu.com. It's completely self-guided and you can just run through it whenever you have time. And I've also added a new tier to my Patreon where you can get a shout out, have your art featured on one of my videos, and get critiques from me. Whenever you want to create a piece, I can give you some feedback on it. I would love to see your art and collaborate with you. So check that out as well at patreon.com/LeilaniJoy. Your support over there helps me to keep making these videos and buying these cosplay outfits. So if you want to see more mini cosplay, support my Patreon. Anyways, this piece is going to be available for purchase right after this video. You can find it in my Etsy store, or if you'd like a payment plan, you can find that as well by contacting sales@LeilaniJoy.com. Happy to break it down for you, whatever is good. I'm really pretty loose on the payment plans. As long as the piece finds a home with you, you can do $5 a month, I guess, but you might be really old by the time you get the piece. Something like that. I'm also doing stickers, limited edition canvas reproductions of this piece, and postcards maybe, whatever else I can think of, if you guys love Unico. So this is kind of funny, but I found out, so when I was a kid, Unico was like really hard to find, and it took me like 20 years to even find the DVD of it, because my mom had taped it off TV. But now I find that there's like this whole underground like super fans of Unico, and I kind of digitally met this girl on Instagram who has the largest Unico collection, I think probably maybe in the world. I don't know. She has like almost every official Unico item, plus art tribute items like my version of Unico and other artists that do Unico tribute art, and I'm so envious of it, and I'm like obsessed with her collection. I'm gonna post her link right here, because if you love Unico, you should definitely check out all her Unico stuff. I just have like a few small things, honestly. I've got one of the little limited collectible Unico vinyls, but what I really want to share, because I'm blocking it right now, is there's my my piece up there that I was talking about earlier, where by Mary Angela Tan, who I love that soft sculpture so much that my little Unico is there with me every day. Okay guys, well I guess that's it for me on this episode. I'm gonna try to do another paint along soon. I just finished another tarot card, so I'll have a video for that. By the way, do any of you guys know what diamond painting is? This is actually something new I learned since I started licensing with a diamond painting company, DIY Moon Shop. And these are like incredible little like, I don't even know what to call it. You get the pattern and then you drop the little like crystals in and you can make an artwork out of it. It's really cool, and apparently it's quite popular. And I have a line of designs that are fully licensed, so if you buy one, you will be supporting me as well, which you can find at DIY Moon Shop right here. And I've also still got my cross stitch patterns with Gecko Rouge, and they're doing some puzzles for me as well. So there's no reason for you to be bored during quarantine. I don't want to hear about it. If you're bored, create something, make something. Anyways, thank you guys so much again for watching, and I hope to see you on another video very soon. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time. Weird to come back after you've already said goodbye, but I wanted to show you guys the finished framed piece in the flesh. There it is. I think it looks a little washed out in my studio lights, but anyways, I love this piece. I'm so tempted to actually keep it because it's just so sweet in this frame, and it's just it touches my childhood heart so deeply. Anyways, I hope it finds a good home with another Unico super fan. I know you're out there. So if you want to give this piece a home, let me know. Hope to see you guys again next time. Bye! For real.
A magical broom and a magical hat. I'm Katie the Kitty Witch. So if you ever need a magical cat, Katie's the kitty to call.